What's going on, guys? My name is Zeodic and I'm back with another VulnHub CTF. This time I'm doing Kuya, and yeah, I'm basically going to be doing a commentary over me already rooting it, just to speed up time and get straight to the point, because make them less boring. So yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. If you guys like it, then I'll keep doing it. If not, I'll go back to the old way of doing a live commentary. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to output the mmap file I got. I usually do version detection and default scripts as usual. And we see that there's web server open. We go to the web server and we see that there is a loot directory. And if you pay close attention to those files, file sizes, that usually means that there's something embedded, or it could be stegarography. In this case, it happened to be stegarography. So I'm just going to wget all those files so I can work with them, because the file sizes are unusual and do need to be checked. So, but I happen to already know it's stegarography, so we're going to use steg_hi to extract what's in those JPEGs. And one of them was encrypted. I think it was three was encrypted, and I tried cracking that, but I don't think I think it's a rabbit hole. I don't think he wanted us to crack it anyway. But yeah, basically there's one of the files, there happened to be some brainfuck and then some base64 again, so I just go through the loop of decoding and interpreting. So that's basically what I'm doing here. And we get some more base64 and secret.txt. Just going to decode that, and just gives us nonsense. So probably the most interesting one is 4.jpg. That gave us a pcap.ng file, and we could use tshark to convert that to a regular pcap file, so Wireshark can actually open it, and we can see what's inside of it. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so once it's open, we see that there is a HTTP request, a GET request for a loot.7zip. So we can export that using Wireshark and get a hold of the 7-zip file. And what we see here is that it happens to be encrypted, so we're going to use John to decrypt it, or to crack it. And so in order to do that, you got to put it in a format so John actually can crack it. So you can use the tools and user share John, and there's a Perl script there that will transfer 7-zip files over to a format to where John can crack it. So that's basically what we're doing here, and you can see that's what John's going to be cracking. And I already did it to save time, and you can see the password is Manchester. So we're going to use that to access the 7-zip. And we see we get a SSH public and private key. And we check the public key and we see that there is a test. The test user is what this is for. And we can see the private key is all got encryption. So that means we have to crack again. So use John again and go through the same process of taking the SSH private key and putting it into a format for John to crack it, and that's basically what we're using SSH2 John for. Now we're going to proceed with cracking it. It's a really simple password. It's just hello, which is to be expected for a CTF, because people that put complex passwords for a 7-zip probably wouldn't get very many people that enjoy a CTF. Yeah, that's basically the password. So we're going to SSH to the box using the password that we just found with John, and using the test user, which we saw on the public key. And I'm just getting the IP real quick. Okay, so we have access to the test user. It's habit for me to check the bash history, which happens ironically for this machine to be a good habit. But basically the intended way for him, he wanted you to do it, was to go into the HTML directory, which is default for where Apache sits or does things, and we see a sample file for the WP config, and we see that there is a Caillou user and a password. And to figure out that if this is a real user, you could obviously check the etc/passwd file, but I already know it was a user, so I just switched users to it. And this is an interesting bash history. We see that it's working with Linux capabilities, and it sets a recursive Linux capability for the root file system. It also sets a cap DAC read search, as we saw there, with the EP effective and permitted. And I'm not going to go through the details of explaining Linux capabilities. You can use the man pages for that, but that's basically the gist of it. And we're going to use, since it set those Linux capabilities for the entire root file system, we can use shadow.tar that's already there. We can use it to create and then extract directories of the file system that we're not usually be privileged to access. And in this case, I used root. You know, I created an archive, a tar archive with root, and I extracted it, which gave me /root and gave me the final flag. So yeah, that's basically how you do this machine. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, if you enjoy this format or the way I just did it, let me know, or I could go back to the old one like I said in the beginning. So yeah, it's basically how you root this box, and yeah, see you guys next time.